All right, welcome to The Explainer. We're going to jump right in, because today we're talking about something that could turn the phone in your hand into a spy in your pocket. Let's break down this really critical security alert from Apple.
So here's the big question. Can a single photo actually hack your phone? I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a spy movie, right? Well, a brand new vulnerability makes this a very, very real threat. We're talking about a simple picture becoming the key to your entire digital life.
Okay, so let's get into the nature of this thing. It's basically an invisible threat living in your device, and it has an official name, CVE-2025-43300. The story really starts back on August 20th, 2025, when Apple suddenly pushed out a whole wave of emergency updates to fix something they knew was incredibly serious.
So what exactly is this? Well, the attack uses what's called a zero-day vulnerability. The name says it all, really. It means Apple had 0 days' notice. Think about it like this. Attackers found a secret backdoor to a house before the builder even knew they'd made a mistake. That's exactly what happened here. This flaw was already being used out in the wild before Apple had any idea it even existed.
And if that wasn't scary enough, get this. It's also a zero-click attack, and that is a huge deal. It means you don't have to do anything wrong. You don't have to click a shady link. You don't have to open a weird file. The hack can be triggered just by receiving the image. It just shows up on your phone, and that's it. Game over.
So where's the weak spot? Well, it's in a really deep, fundamental part of your device's system called ImageIO. Now, this isn't some app you downloaded. No, this is the core engine that handles pretty much every single image you see, your PNGs, your JPEGs, all of it. It's running on your iPhone, your iPad, and your Mac. Okay, so how on earth does a simple picture file get turned into a weapon? The way it works is, well, it's pretty clever, and honestly, incredibly dangerous.
The technical term for the flaw is an out-of-bounds write. I love this analogy. Think of it like a program writing outside the lines in a notebook. But instead of just making a mess, it starts scribbling all over the critical instructions on the next page. That's what's happening here. By building a special booby-trapped image file, an attacker can trick ImageIO into corrupting your device's memory and taking over.
And it all unfolds like a chain reaction. It's really a 5-step process. First, the attacker sends you the malicious image, say over iMessage. Then, your phone, just trying to be helpful, automatically creates a little thumbnail preview. And that simple automatic act is the trigger. That's what springs the trap. The bug gets exploited, allowing the attacker's hidden code to run, and before you know it, a full spyware suite is installed, giving them the keys to the kingdom.
Now, let's be clear. This was not some random bug found by a hobbyist. This was a weapon, and it was being used in a targeted campaign. And that, right there, brings us to the real story. This cat and mouse game between Spies and Apple. Who's behind this, and how did they get caught?
You really have to read between the lines with Apple's announcement. Their own wording is a huge signal. When they say, highly sophisticated targeted attack, that's code. It points directly to a very well-funded, extremely skilled adversary. We're talking state-sponsored spy agencies or those big commercial spyware companies that sell their tools to governments.
So the profile of the attacker here is crystal clear. Their goal isn't to steal your credit card number, it's espionage. They're after information. They go after very specific, high-value people. Think journalists, activists, government officials, and they do it with these custom-built exploits that can cost millions of dollars to develop, all for one purpose, to silently steal information. But here's where the story gets really interesting. There's a twist. See, usually we hear about these things from outside researchers, right? Groups like Citizen Lab. But not this time. Apple found this one themselves, through their own internal security team.
And you have to understand that is a huge strategic move. It means Apple basically detected an active spy campaign in progress. They were able to build and push out a fix while the attackers probably thought their multi-million-dollar toy was still a secret. So this wasn't just patching a bug, this was a full-on counterintelligence operation.
Now, an attack like this doesn't just come out of nowhere. If it seems familiar, it should. It's almost a mirror image of a previous exploit you might have heard of called FORCEDENTRY. That was the one used to install the infamous Pegasus spyware. And you can see the pattern here, right? Both of these attacks went after these core media libraries. It just goes to show, this is a persistent weak spot that attackers are going to keep hammering on.
Okay, so we understand the threat. It's serious, which brings us to the most important question. What can you do about it? What is the single most important thing you need to do, like right now, to protect yourself?
And I want to be perfectly clear about this. The only effective defense is to update your devices immediately. There's no other clever trick, no workaround. You just have to install the update. So take a look at this table. you need to check your devices and make sure you're running these specific versions or something newer. We're talking about your iPhone, your iPad, and your Mac. Double-check those version numbers.
For your iPhone and iPad, you know the drill. It's super simple. Just make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi and plugged in. Then open up the Settings app, go to General, then Software Update. You'll see it there. Just tap Update Now or download and install. Seriously, don't put this off.
And for your Mac, it's just as easy. Go up to that little Apple menu in the corner, click System Settings, then General, then Software Update. Click Update Now, and you're good to go. But, and this is a big but, while updating protects most of us, there's one last, really critical risk we have to talk about.
And this is so important to understand. If you have an older device that can't get this update, we're talking things like the iPhone 8, the iPhone X, or a Mac that's stuck on macOS Monterey or something older, then that device is now permanently vulnerable. There's no fix coming. If you're still using one of these for anything important, you really need to think about retiring it or at least taking it off critical networks.
Now, if you think you might be one of those high-value targets we talked about, a journalist, an activist, a diplomat, there's one more step you can take. It's called lockdown mode. It's an advanced defense measure that Apple built for exactly this kind of situation. What it does is it basically reduces the number of things an attacker can target, like disabling some of those automatic image previews. It's an extra, powerful layer of protection.
And all of this brings us to one last kind of sobering thought. Why do these attacks keep happening? Well, these core media libraries, like ImageIO, are incredibly complex. A lot of it is older code, and that just makes it a perfect recurring target for attackers. So this battle between Apple and state-sponsored spies, it's not over. It's a continuous war. The real question isn't if we'll see another attack like this, it's just when.